Hello everyone, I'm Opinionated and I want to murder every musical. So seeing as all my other videos are kinda negative, I thought I'd make something more positive and day brightening for everybody. I know that in many cases the most important part of a YouTube video is the arguments presented and not the quality of the production. However, please just put in a little bit of effort. Just try to seem like you care. So here are some tips to get more out of your gear. Starting with the audio part, the most important variable here is microphone placement. Especially when you're recording voice, it's not important how good the microphone is, it's more important where you place it. The closer you put a microphone to a sound source, the less reverb and the less noise you will record. Here's a little example of that. This is my camera mic from about 1.5 meters or 5 feet away. This is my camera mic from directly next to it. Now quite obviously you can't be that close to your camera when recording, but there's another way out. Nowadays everybody has a smartphone, even the people who don't have any money have a smartphone. And luckily they come with one of these. I guess I should say most do. I've got one of the earphones plugged in and the microphone is dangling casually down there somewhere. And now I'm making a conscious effort to hold it in front of my face. So rather than using your faraway camera microphone, you should use this, which is way closer to your mouth and gets way better results. Even the results of the casual dangle technique are quite serviceable. But when recording to two different devices, make sure that you clap in the beginning so that you can synchronize it later. And I've even got the people covered whose phone sadly is their camera. Because if the headset's cable for some reason is too short for you, you can get a so-called TRRS extension. It's gonna run you a couple of bucks, it's not expensive. And now for the people who do use a decent microphone, I will quickly cover improper use by not using a pop filter, use of an improper pop filter, and improper use of a proper pop filter. I totally didn't need several takes for this one. If you improperly use your microphone by not using a pop filter, it's gonna sound like this. It's gonna be absolutely terrible. Notice all those wind sounds? Yeah, that's why. A very easy trick to avoid this is instead of talking into the microphone like this, you can talk into the microphone like this. Because sound travels in all different directions, but the air doesn't. And if you do have a pop filter, make sure to set it up a couple of centimeters away from your mic. Sadly, a lot of microphones come with a pop filter directly in front of it, which does absolutely nothing. And don't bother getting one of those on-camera shotgun microphones. They are more directional than most other microphones, but it's still not enough. Your smartphone's headset is probably the way to go. And oh, by the way, if you don't have one, there's a rather high likelihood of someone you know having one and not needing it. They come with nearly every single phone, and not a lot of people use them. Especially if they upgraded their phone recently, they've still got the old one lying around. On a side note, it's often a good idea to build a pillow fort around you and your microphone. That'll get rid of a lot of the reverb, assuming you're not going to film yourself with a camera. Now that you've got a pristine 10 out of 10 audio recording, it's time to get to editing. And there are three main aspects to it when it comes to voice recording. There's normalizing, noise reduction, and compression. Normalization is just a fancy volume control. It raises the volume of the entire recording so that the highest peak reaches a specified level. Usually that's 0 decibels, which is the absolute maximum before it starts distorting. Noise reduction is pretty self-explanatory. It does some fancy mathematics in order to get rid of the background noise you record. And compression evens out volume changes. It makes the louder parts quieter and then raises the overall volume. The results of which are twofold. Your volume will sound more consistent, and it will overall sound louder. Best part is, you can do all of that in Audacity, which is a free software. I'll link it down in the description. And because I don't really use Audacity, I'll link a tutorial as well. Usually you can get away with a lower threshold and a higher ratio than what he said in the video. Feel free to experiment. So now that we've spent a bit of time working on your audio quality, let's get to work on the video. Same as with the audio side, I'm assuming little to no budget here. In order to record a clean image, a camera requires a lot of light. Good thing there's that great celestial fireball out there that helps us a lot with it. Try filming during daytime with the camera facing away from the sun. That way you'll avoid lens flares and get some decent lighting at the same time. As a general rule, the less light you have, the more grainy your picture will look in the end. Another way to make your video look as if you give absolutely no shit about it is if you leave in the part where you walk in and out of the frame. Even YouTube includes a video editor where you can just take the first and last couple of seconds out. Other than some profound artistic reason which I can't think of, there's no excuse for leaving that in. Especially because it's so easy to get rid of. Now, if at all possible, it's a great idea to get rid of autofocus. The camera doesn't know where you want to focus, and often if it's focused properly, it will just randomly decide to focus somewhere else. It's sad to see people who spend a lot of money on their gear not using it properly. Here are some excellent screenshots I took for demonstration. No offense to you wild Spartans, but please use your camera right. As a final statement, it's clear to me that better gear will get you better results, obviously. But it's often quite simple and inexpensive to improve one's production quality. But too often it sounds like the people recording are sitting in a cathedral next to the ocean and an active runway. I don't expect anybody to know everything, but I'd like to see people who put their name and face on the internet to at least try. You're not going to put any professionals to shame as a beginning YouTuber, but a higher standard of quality will be appreciated. Now, it might not seem that way, but I actually do like helping people. If you like this video and it may have helped you out, please consider subscribing.